So our topic is trigonometry. Now the term trigonometry is coming from or derived from two Greek words. They are practically derived from two Greek words. The first one is known as trigonon or trigonon. That is pronounced as trigonon or trigonon. And that trigonon means triangle. And another one word is known as metron, which in English means measurement. That means that trigonometry is the science which deals with the measurement of triangles. So that means we can say that trigonometry as the science of measurement of triangles. Now, where are the place where the trigonometry resides? Practically, the application space are wide. You can say the sound, light, electricity, astronomy, surveying, navigation, engineering, anywhere the trigonometry is imposed. Okay. Now, from the history, who has invented the trigonometry? That is by the Hipparchus. And obviously, he was an Greek astronomer. And that is also near about 180 before Christ. Okay, so what is the meaning of trigonometry? That is measurements of triangles. So the first term that is coming from trigonometry is known as the angles. So what is the meaning of angle? Angle is defined as the inclination of two straight lines. So that means inclination of two straight lines, but which meet in a point, but which meet in a point, but never in a straight line. Now, you may someone say, sir, 180-degree means in the straight line. That would be discussed later. That is not the case. Straight line means, suppose that one is the first line and second one is the another line. Okay. So next one. So what we can think about angle? So angle is the rotation of any line, that is called the rotating line. So we can say angle rotation of a line which is called the revolving line from the initial position to a terminal position. Let's check what is happening here. Suppose we have a point that is O, and here we are drawing a straight line. So that is our OX. And another line is there that is from also O to P. That OP is called the terminal side. and that OX is called the initial side. So that means initial position, that means the OX, and to a terminal position, that means OP. So what is happening here? That OP is rotating, but always remember the rotation is counterclockwise, or we can say anti-clockwise. So from OX, the initial side, the terminal side OP is rotating. So that is OP, that rotation is the revolving line. Okay. Now that one is called, that means we can say by notation POX as an angle. Next one, that notation may be arrow wise or sometime as an angle wise, but most used is the angle wise, less used. So next one, convention of the signs of angles. That means at that moment we have denoted OX to OP or XOP as an angle. So what should be the signs of the angles? Always remember, we draw most of the times, or we think about the angle as counterclockwise revolving. So that means when we have counterclockwise rotation, the angle is positive. If it is clockwise rotation, the angle is negative. Let's check with an example. Suppose we have that type of O, X, Y, X dash, Y dash. That is our coordinate system. Now we are drawing here one line. That one is here. That is our OP. So what should be the angle here? The angle here we are drawing, that is from OX to OP. Always remember, we are drawing it counterclockwise or anti-clockwise rotation. Suppose that is, we are giving theta, the name of the angle, the value of the angle. So here, that angle theta is positive. Counterclockwise means when a clock is rotating, always clock rotate in that way. That's why it is called clockwise rotation. But here we are drawing or calculating the angle counterclockwise. That means in the opposite direction. So that's why it is counterclockwise. Let's check what should be the negative. So that is our O, that is our X, Y, X dash, Y dash. Now another line is here, and that is from O to P. So if we calculate the angle from clockwise rotation, so here suppose that is theta dash. Here theta dash is called as negative. Is that clear? So next one, notation for angles. That means commonly used notations for the angles. First one, so we are writing the topic as notation for angles. Suppose one, that is a Greek letter theta. Second one, that is phi. Third one, as you know, that is alpha. Fourth, as you know, that is beta. 5, gamma. 6, that is called the small delta. 7th, lambda. 8th, omega. Now you may say, sir, without this notation, we cannot define any angle. No, there is no limitation. Practically, most of the textbooks or any other type of papers or type of theorems, these notations are generally used. That means that these Greek letters are generally used for the notation of angles. Otherwise, you can write any letter. It may be English, it may be any other type of language, no problem. So next one notation, first one was how an angle is created, what is positive, what is negative, then the notation, then we are saying the measurements, or practically that is called the magnitude of an angle. Magnitude of an angle. Let we have a coordinate system. We are drawing O, X, Y, X dash, then Y dash. And here we are drawing another line from O to P. Practically, suppose that one is the angle. As we are drawing it or we are measuring it counterclockwise, suppose that is 40 degree. So using degree, we practically define or magnitude the angle. Second one, another I am drawing here, another coordinate system. That is O, X, Y, X dash, Y dash. Now the same, I am drawing the same line, that is O, P. Now here, I am not ending the rotation up to the line. That means, check here, I am starting from the initial line OX and rotating and then end here. So that means before that was only 40 degree. But after rotation, that means we have rotated a complete 360 degree. That every rotation is called or measured as 360 degree. So practically here, after complete rotation, that means from red here to here, that is 360 degree rotation has been done. After that, the 40 degree. So that is 360 degree plus 40 degree, or that one is 400 degree, and obviously that must be plus or positive, as we have created counterclockwise rotation. So a single angle, that means XOP, it may be 40 degree, but after complete rotation, one rotation, it may be 400 degree, because 360 degree plus 40 degree. Now you may say, sir, the 400 degree is the max, or we can rotate more. Yes, we can rotate more. Suppose we are rotating once again, and that is also like that way. That means first rotation 360 degree, another rotation 360 degree, 720 degree, then 40 degree. So that means 2 into 360 degree plus 40 degree, 720 plus 40, that means 760 degree. So that is also possible. So any angle measured in that practically counterclockwise rotation, if needed, we can proceed with the clockwise rotation or the negative angle, otherwise not. So now, what is this thing? So once again, we are drawing another coordinate system. Okay, O X, O Y, X dash, Y dash. Which one first is called? The first one is called the first quadrant. The second one is called the second quadrant. Third one is called the third quadrant, and that one is called the fourth quadrant. Now, what is the meaning of practically first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant? Now, you may proceed another way. The first quadrant can also be called, or after rotation, a complete rotation, that may be the fifth quadrant, or seventh, eighth, like that. Okay. So what is the first quadrant? Practically the first quadrant, the angles theta is always less than 90 degree, because that one is the 90 degree. So always whichever angle we are drawing here is the less than 90 degree, but always greater than 0 degree. Never equal to, because equal to means that one is the 0 degree. So that is not equal to. Always that belongs to 0 degree to 90 degree, the first quadrant. Second quadrant, that means theta is always less than 180 degree. So that is 180 degree, and always greater than 90 degree. Third one quadrant, that means theta is less than 270 degree, and always greater than 180 degree. So the fourth quadrant means theta that is less than 360 degree, but greater than 270 degree. So whichever is our 0 degree, that is also treated as a 360 degree, because already we have known that. So from first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. So in that way, we can proceed with the rotation or the measurement of angle. Now you may say, when we are rotating, so any angle that is here, that is called the angle is positioned in the first quadrant. When any angle is here, that is in the second quadrant. Any angle is here in the third quadrant. then any angle is here, then fourth quadrant. But if we draw it in that way, so we may say the angle is in the fifth quadrant, because after fourth quadrant, first quadrant, second quadrant, third and fourth, we are rotating it up to fifth. So then sixth is possible, seventh possible, eighth possible. So that is according to our requirement, any number of rotation is possible, but that is according to our requirement. Okay. So next, from this, whatever we are saying, that means any measurement of any angle. So the measurement of any angle can be defined as 360 into n plus theta degree, where n is the number of revolutions. Okay, suppose at that moment we are drawing some angles. So for that we have to suppose the first one angle we have to draw, that is 415 degree. Suppose second one minus 130 degree. Third one suppose 957 degree. Okay, suppose another one we are drawing minus 1480 degree. So we are drawing it in a single coordinate system. So we have to draw a big coordinate system. Okay, so that is our x, that is our y, x dash, y dash. So let first we draw the first one, that means 415 degree. So that must be our O. So 415 degree, that means that one is 360 into 1 plus which angle, that is 55 degree. So one rotation is need. So we are starting from here, a complete rotation, then like that 55 degree is here. So that means practically that is 55 degree, but after complete rotation 360 degree plus 55 degree, or that is 415 degree, the first one. Second one, that is our minus 130 degree. Minus 130 degree means, so we may say that minus 130 degree, that means 130 degree is equal to 90 degree plus 40 degree. So we can proceed with the clockwise rotation as it is negative. So one clockwise rotation, after that 40 degree. So using green color, I am doing it. Suppose that one is the 40 degree, as I am going to clockwise, and that is complete 90 degree. So 40 degree plus 90 degree, that means 130 degree. But as it is clockwise, so we are treating it as minus 130 degree, and that is also our 415 degree. Next one, 957 degree. So 957 degree means we can write it as 360 degree into 2 plus 2 into 90 degree plus 57 degree. That means 720 plus 180 plus 57. So it would be better we can draw. So first of all, 360 degree. That means 2 complete revolution is a need. So we are starting from here. 1 revolution, second revolution, 360 degree into 2 complete, plus 2 into 90 degree. That means 180 degree we have to rotate. Then 57 degree. So that means suppose that one is the 57 degree. As it is positive, so we have to proceed with the counterclockwise. So that one is our 957 degree. Final one, 1480. So 1480 means that we can write 360 degree into 4 plus 40 degree. But here that one is negative. That means we have to proceed with the counterclockwise. Sorry, clockwise. So here we have to draw another one small coordinate system. Suppose that one. And here 360 degrees. So clockwise rotation must be there. So first rotation, second rotation, third rotation, fourth rotation. After that, we have to proceed with the 40 degree. So that means here. So that must be our minus 1480 degree, like that. So next one, measures of angle in a different manner. That means measures of angles. Two common systems, practically two common systems. The first one is called the sexagesimal or sexagesimal system. Both are pronounced in the same manner, sexagesimal or sexagesimal. And the second one is called the circular system. The very first one, that is sexagesimal system, is also known as the English system. That means the complete revolution, one complete revolution is divided into 360 equal parts. As we know here, into 360 equal parts, and each one, that means each part, is called degree. Each part is called degree. Every degree is divided into 60 equal parts, and each part is called minute. So that means first one, the complete revolution is divided into 360 equal parts, is called a degree. Each degree is now divided into 60 equal parts. Each part is called a minute. Every minute, each minute is divided into 60 equal parts, and each part is called second. Resemble like a clock. Second. And the degree by notation is a small o type. Each minute by notation or by symbol is a single dash type, and each second is a symbol of double dash type. So suppose we have an angle that is 35 degree, 54 minute, 37 seconds. So that means 35 degree, 54 minutes and 37 seconds. Normally, that English system or the sexagesimal system is less used in the measurement of angles. So that is the first one measurement, that is called the English system. Now the next one is called the circular system. So next type of measurement of angles is called the circular system. And in that system, the unit is radian. Practically is a radian. That is also coming from the plane geometry concept. Okay. In geometry, we have to know one thing. You can remember in geometry, the ratio of the lengths of any two arcs is equal to the ratio of the central angles which intercept these arcs. Let's draw a diagram so you may find it. Suppose we have a circle like this. We have a circle. Now that is our center point. Now we are drawing, or we are choosing an arc. Arc means that one is the arc. That one is the arc we are choosing here. So here, suppose we are drawing it like the O is the center. So suppose we are writing it as X, that one as Y, and that one is the angle, suppose theta. Another arc we are choosing here. That is suppose P, that is suppose Q. So that is the intercept angles. That means that one, another arc is the PQ. First one arc was XY, that is alpha. So what it says, the ratio of the lengths of any two arcs, that means XY divided by PQ, is equal to the ratio of the central angles which intercept these arcs. So that means XY, practically length of XY divided by length of PQ is equal to theta by alpha. That is the concept given here. The ratio of the lengths of any two arcs is equal to the ratio of the central angles which intercept these arcs. Now, in mathematical way, we are writing now. So the first one is arc XY divided by arc PQ. So that one is the angle XOY, second angle POQ. Suppose the angle theta is now giving we as 112 degree. And the second one alpha we are giving as 28 degree. So it is possible that one may be written as 112 degree divided by 28 degree or equal to 4. That is the conception of circular system from the plane geometry. Once again, arc of XY divided by arc of PY is equal to angle of, that means the ratio of the intercept angles are same. So, if we have another circle, suppose that one we are drawing. I am drawing an arc or choosing an arc like that. So suppose that is the theta and I am choosing that arc as A, B, and suppose that one is X. That means the length of the arc AB is X. Then I am choosing another one arc. Suppose that is PQ, and that PQ is the 5x. That means arc AB is X, arc PQ is 5x. That is the 5 times of the arc AB. So obviously the angle which is intercepted by AB is theta here. So that must be 5 theta. So that is the ratio that is saying. So if the arc is X and the arc is 5x and here the angle is theta, so that must be 5 theta. That means if we have that angle is equal to 10 degree, so that angle must be 5 into 10 degree as its arc as 5x is equal to 5 into x. So that is the 510. That is the concept of the ratio. So next one term is coming from that one. That means the term which we are calling the unit as radian. Very important. Always remember that term. From where the term radian is coming. Once again, we are drawing a circle. And here, that one is the center. Suppose O. That one is our radius. So from O to A, we are drawing the radius R. Now we are choosing R is the radius. We are choosing an arc of length R. That is the length of a radius. Whatever be the length of the radius is, that is R, we are choosing another one line or arc which is also have the same length. So that means that arc is also of the length r, and then we are finding b. Suppose AB is also R, then we are connecting that O with B. So whatever the angle intercept is here, that one is called 1 radian. That means the radian, that term is coming from the radial or radius. Once again, whatever be the length of our radius of any circle is, then we are choosing an arc of the same length, that is r. Then whatever the angle intercept or in between that two or arc we are finding is called 1 radian. So radian means always we have to think that. So here, suppose another one I am drawing. Suppose another one circle we may draw like that. Suppose that one 0 is here. So 1 is r is the radius, and we are choosing one arc, which is practically, suppose that one. That means here that is A, that is B. Suppose that one is our 4r. Always remember, when we have 1r, arch length is 1r, arc length, then it is 1 radian. So if it is 4r, so that means we can say that angle is 4 radian. When we have 1 radian, that means the arc length is r. When we have 4r length of the arc, that means the angle subtended in between that one, subtended, that is 4 radian. So radian means that one. So what we can say according to the definition of the radian. So a radian is a measure of the central angle subtended by the arc equal in length to the radius of the circle. Okay, so that is the thing. So what is called the circular measure? So in that way, we can proceed with the circular measure or the circular system. So according to the circular measure, we can say the circular measure of an angle is the number of radians it contains. As usual from the previous one example here, that means that one given angle BOA or angle AOB has been according to the measurement with radian. So that is called the 4th radian, and that is according to the circular system. Now in symbol, what an radian or what a radian is called? Practically a radian by symbol is called as rad, R-A-A-D. That is the symbol of radian. Okay. Now we are proceeding with another one thing. That means the ratio, the same thing, but in a different manner. Ratio of circumference of a circle to its diameter. That means whatever we have thought about the radian is according to the radius. Now, if we have thinking it about the diameter and its circumference, so let's draw a circle here. Okay, what is the meaning of the circumference? The circumference means the complete arc, the complete rotation of the arc, the complete length of the arc, whatever we are getting. So the circumference of a circle bears a constant ratio to its diameter. Now, what is the meaning of diameter? Suppose that is our center. Here we have drawn R, that is our radius. So that one is our diameter. That means from that position to up to that position, the complete thing is our diameter. That is our O. So what it says? Now it says circumference of circle divided by diameter of the circle. That one is called the pi. That means we can say from here, circumference means we know, that is we are writing circumference divided by diameter means d, that means 2r is equal to 5. So that one is equal to, that means we can say the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. Now, what is the pi? So pi means circumference of the circle divided by the diameter of the circle. In that way, we can proceed with the definition of pi. Pi is a very important term. In geometry, you can say, in trigonometry, you can say, in every aspect of mathematics, you can say. The pi means circumference of the circle divided by the diameter of the circle. And from here, we are getting the circumference means 2 pi r. We can write it also as pi into d, because 2r means we have d, the diameter. The final one from here, we are getting, that one is called the relation between the radians and the degrees. And that is very important, because always we measure the angle according to degree, but in the some cases we can define by radians. So what is the relation between the radians and the degrees? So simply we can write here like that, arc of AB divided by the circumference. Okay, so draw a circle here. We are drawing here the center. So we have R here. We have diameter here. So that is our R. We are drawing the A here. Then we have an arc. that is also have the same length r. So that means here that is our B. So we can say that one is 1 radian because that r is same as the arc r. So arc of AB divided by the complete circumference. So that may be written as arc of AB means 1 radian because it has the length r. So we are writing it as 1 radian divided by what is the meaning of circumference. We know already, we are writing it according to the degree. That means 360 degree because we know that complete rotation is equal to 360 degree. So that is the circumference. Now we are proceeding with that one. Now arc of AB, what is the length? We know that is r. Its length is smaller. Circumference already we have found here, that is 2 pi r from the previous one. That is 2 pi r or pi into d is equal to, now that is 1 radian divided by 360 degree. So we can divide r here and we are getting that is 1 by pi. We are also dividing 2 here with 180 degree. So that means by 2, sorry. So 1 of radian divided by 180 degree. So that means 1 radian means that is 180 degree divided by pi, and that one is practically a constant number. Hence, we can say pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. Always remember the units are important here. Pi radians means 180 degree. So we can say once more, for any angle, number of radians divided by number of degrees is equal to pi by 180. Pi by 180 must be. Okay. Or another way you can say, so arc equal in length to 1 radius subtends 1 rad at the center. So if we have a radius length of 1, then we have its radian big value is 1 rad. So arc equal in length to 2 pi radius subtends 2 pi rad at the center. Okay, so suppose at that moment we are drawing here, 360 degree, because 180 degree means 1 pi, so 360 degree means 2 pi rad, or we can say pi rad, already we know that is 180 degree. Okay, just small 3 examples how to convert. Suppose we have first one, 1 radian. What is the in degree? Convert it. So 1 rad, that means 180 degree divided by pi. So that one is 180 divided by 3.1416. Now we know pi means 3.1416 dot 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 dot, never ending. But we are choosing up to 4 decimal places. So pi is equal to 3.1416, and we are getting it near about 57.295645 like degree. Okay, and that is nearly equal to 57.3 degree. So that is the first one, how we can convert from radian to degree. Suppose another one that is given pi by 3, pi by 3 radian to how much degree. So here we know 1 rad means 180 divided by pi. So pi by 3 rad means 180 degree divided by pi into, just multiply it with pi by 3. So we can divide the by here. So that one is the 60 degree. So pi by 3 rad means 60 degree. Whatever from the childhood, whatever we have done, that is pi by 3, pi by 4, like that. Practically, there has a unit, and that unit is radian or rad. That is not a single thing. Pi by 3, pi by 4, whatever we are saying, that is originally has an unit. That unit is the radian. Suppose another one, pi by 15 radian. So that means 180 degree divided by pi into multiply it with pi by 15, and that one after division we are getting 12. So that is 12 degree. So that is the conversion from radian to degree. Another one from degree to radian. Let's check. Suppose we have a 45 degree to how much radian. So we know 180 degree means pi rad. So we can write 45 degree means pi by 180 degree into 45 degree. That means pi by 4 rad, not only pi by 4, that is pi by 4 rad. Suppose the second one, suppose 30 degree. So that means pi by 180 degree into 30 degree, or that one is pi by 6 rad, not only pi by 6, that is pi by 6 rad. Suppose the final one, that means 9 degree. So that is pi by 180 degree into 9 degree, or that is pi by 20 rad, not only pi by 20. So that is the way we can convert from radian to degree and from degree to radian. Okay, just final one line. Pi is always a number whose approximate value is 3.1416. So when we say pi is equal to 180 degree, we mean that pi radians, that is 3.1416 times 1 radian, because 1 rad is 1 rad. So when we are writing pi rad, that means 3.1416 into 1 rad. That one is the thing we are saying. Okay, so never ever pi is equal to 180 degree. That is not true, because pi is not 180 degree. Pi is equal to 180 degree means that is 3.1416 into 1 rad.